Jason, hey, it's Dave Olkowetsky. This is a little bit crazy, but it's one of those weeks. I have a nail in my tire, a bunch of other weird things that have happened, and I'm now doing this video for the third time because for the first two times it didn't actually work. So I've already inspected your knives several times, but I just want you to see how perfectly sharp they are, and I'll walk you through our standard QC inspection in a second. Okay, so those are your three knives. So when you're going to store the knives, make sure you match up the AR on the blade and the AR on the sheath. Hopefully you can see that. Two reasons for that. Number one, it creates some friction, so your knife shouldn't fall out. I wouldn't recommend doing this with the chef knife for sure. Like it still holds, but it's a little bit risky to do. It's okay, I guess, with the paring and the small petty. I still wouldn't do it. There's no reason to. Just hold your knife by the handle. The bottom of the welt, the second reason is that the bottom of the leather sheath has a welt, and that welt that's an extra piece of leather. It goes right down the middle. It's going to prevent you from cutting through. Your knife will fit in upside down. I don't recommend it. And the reason is you don't have a leather welt on top. So if you cut through this stitching here, you're going to cut right through the sheath. The other way I recommend storing is by placing the knife on a magnet. So you're going to put it on spine first and rotate it on like that. So take it off, take the edge off, pull the spine off, and you've got your knife. There's a bunch of tips in your handy dandy booklet. So if you have any questions, most of them are addressed in here. Hang on to this, but obviously I'm available to you as well. Let's do the rest of the inspection. So first thing I do is I check to make sure that the pins, that's these four, actually these are now screws, are nice and flush with the handle. They are. I'm going to feel the handle, make sure it's nice and smooth. We're now doing a CNC milling process, so every handle is essentially exactly the same. So that's fantastic. And I don't have to check it anymore, but I still do because things can occasionally go wrong. I'm going to make sure that there's no gaps between the Richlite, that's the maple color, the green G10, and the Tang. There aren't any. I'm checking the choil, that's this area right here. Make sure it's really smooth. It is, I know, because I just redid a lot of knives. And that was one of the things that I spent a lot of time on. I'm looking at the edge grind to make sure it's really nice and even. It is. I also reprofiled your blade completely. Not completely, but a decent amount. I wanted it a little bit shorter with a little bit more curvature towards the tip. It's going to give you a better rocking motion. And now I'm going to inspect with a fingernail through the edge. Now, this edge is just a tiny bit toothy. That's very intentional. It's going to keep it cutting through tomatoes and peppers and all sorts of other items for longer. Yeah, these are your knives. I do the same inspection on the paring and the petty. I've obviously done them already, as mentioned, so I'll leave it there for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Inside your booklet, there's a referral code. I think it's on the third page or the back side of the third page. If you're happy with the knives and can forgive the delayed service, we'd certainly appreciate it. You get 10% off, or sorry, you're the person you refer gets 10% off, and you get a $20 discount. So thanks so much, appreciate it, and hope you love your knives. Okay.